Hi guys, today is Saturday, January 14th, and this is my first Weight Watchers weekly update. I'm going to do one on Saturdays. On Mondays, I do a Sandy's weekly update, and that's entirely different from this. This is just highlights from the Weight Watcher meeting. Today, we got our weekly, and it's mostly showing you how to get connected on the phone. If you have the app on the phone, and which I do. I don't track my food on the phone. I track my food in a daily planner book, which makes it a little easier for me because if you follow me, you tend to see that I tend to eat the same things all the time. So a lot of the things are fresh in my mind, but it's easier for me just to flip a couple pages, and I'm not computer savvy by any means. So it's a little difficult for me to, not difficult, but time consuming to try to use the app. The app is very helpful. I do use it on things that I haven't used in the past. I do use it, the scan bar, quite a bit. And speaking of the scan bar, I did scan the frozen broccoli and it shows up as 1 point. I did ask at the meeting why it does that when I always thought vegetables were free, and they said that they said it should be 0, but they think the reason they put it as 1 is most people use frozen vegetables in a recipe, and when you use it in a recipe, it tends to add calories because it breaks down the fruit of the vegetable, and so that's why the calories are added at that point. But if you're just going to, like I do, just boil it to eat it or steam it, then it's 0 points. The same as the fresh broccoli. And also I asked about because I buy the grapefruit packed in its own juice, which is 4 points. If you drain the juice, which I forget, I'm sorry, somebody had told me that too, that if you drain the juice, it's 0 points. I've been counting it as 4 points because when I scan the can, that's what it says. I don't do the juice. My husband drinks the juice afterwards when the pineapple's down to the bottom. So, but on the one page, it has the Think Again, and one of the things they said, unhelpful things to say, are I don't need bells and whistles, and just tracking what I eat is enough. And what's helpful is saying losing weight and keeping it off isn't only about what I eat, it's about thinking and feeling. That plays a part in it too. And getting support can help me get to my right head in the right place. I was very hesitant about joining Weight Watchers. I've had many people tell me to join Weight Watchers. I just felt that I didn't want to spend the money on Weight Watchers, so I didn't join it. And I was trying to follow my own method, and my own method was working to an extent, but I have to admit that the Weight Watchers is working 100% more. The second thing is unhelpful is I can't figure out all this tech stuff. The helpful thing says if thousands of members are using the digital tools, they're worth checking out. I'll just ask my leader or other members for help and check out the plan on WeightWatchers.com. I am not by any means tech savvy, but if I can work the app, I think anybody can work the app. I have no difficulty working their Weight Watcher app. I think it's very self-explanatory, and like I said, I have no difficulty, and I do find it very helpful. Unhelpful, when I'm at a restaurant or a store, I'm unsure how to figure out smart points, so I just don't track. The helpful portion of our brain should say the app has a fun barcode scanner that gives me an exact smart point values, and I can browse food at restaurants by name, which makes things easier. There are a few restaurants, like if you have a local restaurant or something in your area that's not going to be listed because they mostly just list the chain restaurants. You can kind of go onto a chain restaurant and kind of see the similar, because I think most restaurants pretty much have the same recipes somewhat. I ate out twice this week, and I did use my app both times before I went to the restaurant because I kind of knew what I was going to eat. The one restaurant I wasn't really sure, so I went on their website, went to their menu, and I found what I wanted, and I tracked what I wanted, and I stuck to it, and I did have that. I did go into my weeklies, but that's what they're there for. I do find it very helpful to do it that way. I was very surprised at how high things were, which you wouldn't have thought were that high in points, or calories for that matter, and then you look at the app and it's like, oh my gosh, that was like ridiculous. Unhelpful is I'm on other social media platforms I don't need to get involved with more. And the helpful part is being part of Connect links me to a community of people just like me. I can share feelings, successes, and setbacks with people who know exactly what I'm going through. I follow a lot of people on the YouTube, and I don't have I find them very helpful. I really do. I think because they're sharing the same journey. But I understand what they're saying is sometimes people can give you, which their perception of what something is good or bad, and it really is not. And then they gave us a recipe for southern fried oven chicken. So, you know, you might want to screenshot that and see if that's something that you'd be interested in. Our leader was really interesting today. We had a pretty good, we had 55 pounds lost for the group. My family, my sister, two sisters, Mary and Denise, joined, and my daughter Christy. So the four of us take up a row, and we're a very competitive family, and we all got a sticker today, so I'll give you a clue that we did pretty good. And like I said, I'm not going to share their weight loss journey as far as how much they gained or lost. Just my own. That's what I'm going to do. But we also talked about another program that Weight Watchers is approving. It's called Simply Filling. And this is, you can get this on if you're a part of Weight Watchers and you want to try this too, the way I understood it is that you can go like for Monday and Tuesday and you can track your points. But on Wednesday and Thursday, let's say you don't really want to track your points, you can go from the Simply Filling menu and pick out the foods that you want and eat those, and you don't really have to track them. The only way you would have to track them is if you went on to the not included list, which I'll show you in a minute. And then you would count the points, but you would deduct them from your weeklies because they're not free, obviously. But most of the other stuff it's basically the Weight Watcher plan. It's just that you're just not tracking, and that's just common sense. And like she was saying at the meeting too, was you need to know when you're full. And I've mentioned this before. It's like if you're blowing up a balloon, and you like she was using the example of the long balloons like you make party animals with, that they're very hard to blow up. So, but you have to keep trying. But when you get to the halfway point, you know that there's still a little bit more room. And I know I'm not explaining it properly, but what she was saying is you just got to go a little bit more. But when you get to the halfway point, you usually stop and take a breath. And that's when you need to, when you're eating, you stop and take a breath and think, am I full or do I need to eat a little bit more? And then you keep on eating, which is like blowing up the balloon, until it gets full. You don't want to get it so full that it bursts. You don't want to get it so full that after you've tied it, that you're still eating and it bursts, you know, or you have to like unloosen your belt or something like that because you've ate too much. So it's just, you have to give your brain a minute to catch on to the fact that you've done eating. So try to make your plate with less food than you thought you were going to eat, so that if you want to go back, you can, if that's your mentality. I just know how much I'm going to eat, and I leave it at that. And I wait the 5 minutes to see if I'm full. And if I'm still hungry, then I'll go grab like a Jell-O pudding, or sugar-free Jell-O pudding, or something like that, or an apple or an orange, or like a snack item. But for the most part, if you're tracking, you kind of know what you're going to eat and what you're not going to eat, and what's going to fill you and what's not going to fill you. And so then the list is, like, I'll try to put it on here so you can see it, is, I don't know if it's got a glare, but it just kind of shows you, and then the other side shows you, like, it shows you your fruits and your vegetables and your whole grains and your dairy and your daily dairy substitutes, and your lean proteins and your plus more. Down here, plus more tells you the extra stuff that you can have. And then on the back page, it shows you the stuff that's not included. And if you've noticed on this bottom one, it said categories of food such as cookies, even made from a Simply Filling recipes, are not connected or approved to the Simply Filling program, which means that if you make a cookie or something, you're still going to have to track it. You just take it off your weekly. If you have the phone app, what you want to do is go into your settings, and you want to go in the little corner on the phone, and you want to hit the person. Let me look at the picture of the phone here. I thought there was. Yeah, right up here in the corner. That's your phone. Right in the top corner right there is you click on the person icon, and then it'll show you like a little sun. You click on that, then you click on the food settings, then you click on the method, and then you can choose either tracking or Simply Filling. if you're using the app. I don't use the app, but that's if you do use the app. So I'm trying not to keep these too long. If you follow me, you know I'm kind of long-winded, so I'm trying to keep these short. But I'll show you. I got a sticker because I lost 3.9 pounds. So I've lost a total of 10.4. And so that my total, my weight today was 275.8, so I've lost 10.4. And I also got a blue ribbon for 10 pounds. So I'm really proud of myself. And I'm really proud of my sisters and my daughter. We all did pretty well, pretty good, or whatever. So I hope you liked the video. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And I do a weekly update on Mondays, which my weight loss on my weekly updates will be different because that's from the beginning of my weight loss journey. Saturdays are going to be my Weight Watchers journey, so the totals are going to be a little bit different. But it's the same goal, to lose weight, get healthy. So share this video if you think it'll help somebody, and comment. Comments. I love comments. If you have any suggestions for me to shorten this, lengthen this, whatever, critique me. I don't have a problem with that. So I will hopefully see you next Saturday. So until then, have a good day.